Hello, encouragers. I'm Rebecca Scott, wife, mother of 4, author, and owner and designer of Rebecca Scott Designs. I'm here to encourage you, to make you feel the I can do this spirit each and every day of our awesome journeys to fulfill those many important roles. I believe we are fully equipped to execute, and I will provide you with as much knowledge and practices and systems as I can to help you understand just what I know you can do. Execute. We got this. Hello, encouragers. We made it. We are here. We are on our second series for the year 2020. And I know this is unforeseen circumstances. I had no idea that I would be delivering a message about how to work from home, how to stay at home, how to stay quarantined. I mean, we're just in such uncertain times and unprecedented times. I knew I had to get on and record what I myself am doing for myself personally, for my professional life, and also family-wise. And I have a few things to tell you to keep you encouraged, because after all, that's what I'm here to do, is to encourage you. And so thanks for coming back and listening to brand new episodes. Remind yourself to please rate and review me, especially during this time when it's just uncertain. Running a growing business is difficult when people are scared to buy anything right now. But if you could just give me a rate and review, that's about like paying me $100 because they mean so much in the podcast world. So if you would just tell yourself that, that would be wonderful. On your podcast app, you just search for The Encourager, even if you've already downloaded it. What you do is go to your podcast app, search for The Encourager, then scroll down, and that's where the ratings and reviews are. So if you could do that, I would just be so grateful. Let's start talking about how to stay encouraged even when we're in a little bit of chaos. Okay, first I want to remind you of one of my favorite Bible verses, 1 Thessalonians 5:16 through 18. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. I'm talking all circumstances, and this is one of those. We will rejoice and we will pray continually. Okay? So first, what I would recommend is listen to my almost 100 plus episodes that I have done before this. You guys, so many of them apply to what we're going through right now. The ones that I highly recommend are how to work at home with small children. That one's a great one for what we're doing with the homeschooling right now. Definitely take a re-listen to the spousal business meeting. Maybe even invite your spouse to listen to it with you. Download the worksheet. It's on our resources tab on the website, theencouragerpodcast.com. It's a great time to get on the same page with your hubby. Also, the podcast episode, What to Do When You Have a Derailment. Like, this is a huge one, but it also applies to just the everyday derailments. Listen to that one. Also, listen to the episode, Why You Must Have a Website, especially if, and I try not to say small business, I try to say growing business. If you are operating a growing business right now, then you must have a website because everybody is heading online as we can't make it to the stores and things. So that's a really good one that we need to listen to right now in this time. Also, listen to any of the episodes about goal planning. Right now is the time to be stiller. We have more time to think about things. We have more time, I'm not going to say to worry about things, but we have more time to debate what is really important to us and to think through what are our true goals. This virus is really making us think, what is important? What are my dreams? How can I pursue them? And what do I do in this state of uncertainty? Let's goal plan. Let's figure out what we're going to do coming out of this. So take a listen to them, absorb them, do the homework. There's detailed show notes on all of them. And then check out the resources tab on my website, theencouragerpodcast.com, for more templates and things if you're listening. The weekly agenda is a good one because you may have to redo your weekly agenda with all the children at home right now. Download the spousal business meeting, the marketing plan. There's all kinds of PDFs. It would be very helpful for you to take an hour every day or every week to just do a little bit of homework. So here is what I recommend for each separate category, and I broke them down into categories. Personally, what I want to encourage you with and what I am personally doing. Professionally, what I want to encourage you with and what I am doing. And also family-wise, how I want to encourage you and what I am personally doing. So personally, get up. Yeah, I know. Use this time to sleep in a little longer. Let's do some self-care, but let's not self-care till 8 a.m. or 8:30 or 9 a.m. Okay, let's still set the alarm, get up. Hopefully you're getting to sleep a little bit longer, but get yourself prepared for the day. Remember, you need to wake up before the kiddos. That is the most important part right there. Because if you wake up answering questions and meeting needs and you never got the opportunity to center yourself, you'll wake up crabby. So at least wake up before the kiddos. Ideally, wake up in time to have your own cup of tea or a cup of coffee, to exercise, to do your devotional, whatever it is to set you up for success. It may be at a later time. I hope you get to sleep in a little bit, but still make sure that it's before the kiddos. Get ready. Yeah, get ready. Put your makeup on or do your hair or whatever it is that makes you feel a little bit more ready. Maybe it's just lip gloss. Maybe it's not even the whole face. That's okay. But do some form of getting ready, because that time you spend in the mirror tells your subconscious you are important. You are important. You are staring at yourself and telling yourself you have value and you will get ready for the day. And exercise. I would even argue to exercise more. I always say exercise is the cheapest therapy you can find. It's better than alcohol or therapy or anything. Now, I definitely recommend all kinds of therapy, but exercise for me is just a really good stress reliever. And especially in the uncertain time with a growing business, to me, 100 burpees will help me work through some ideas and some fears in no time. So get some exercise in, especially with the fresh air. Dress the part, right? You know that I preach about this a lot, but get dressed. Don't just wear your yoga pants for days on end, or your leggings or your sweatshirt or your baseball cap. Get dressed, dress the part so you can record a fun video that keeps your audience in the zone, that encourages them also, that loves on them, that shows your family you're showing up, that shows your kids you're not full of fear. You are full of confidence that God will get us through this. Get ready, get dressed, and dress the part. Read your Bible or a devotional or meditate. Spend time outside of the ego. Spend time praising God, asking Him for direction, worshiping Him. Even if you have to skip the getting ready part, like you're still like, Becca, I'm not going to wear normal clothes. I'm not going to do my face and makeup or whatever. Fine. But please spend some time centering yourself with prayer, reading your Bible, doing your devotional. Don't skip this one. Make sure that you're connecting with Him. Then I do recommend going to get ready. But if you must, make sure you prioritize the devotional time. So what am I personally doing? I'm usually always wake up at 5:15 to do my exercising, my time with God, my Bible and everything. But I did back it up a little bit because I would have 3 hours of silence before the kids woke up, which was glorious, but not going to deny a little bit of sleeping in is good for the soul. So now I wake up at 6 a.m. I do my workout from about 6 to 6:30, 6:45, depending on the length of it. I spend time with Jesus in just solid silence. Then I shower and get ready, and then I do my devotional and stuff while I make all the food for the day. By the time I start to make the food, because the kiddos are at home, I do involve them, which I'll talk about in a little bit here. But for me personally, I am getting up at 6 and getting ready, and I'm still recording videos for my growing businesses. And so, yes, I still do hair and makeup and look the part. And I do feel better doing that. And the days where I don't have to record videos and I slack off a little bit, I can feel it in my workload as well. I slump when I'm in my office chair. I go to sit down quicker. All of those things affect me. So I have to play the part every day for me to stay as driven as I know I am. Okay, so professionally, what would I encourage you to do? First, set some new goals. You may need to reevaluate how quarter one went and how quarter two will go. And if I just lost you by saying quarters, hang with me, you guys. I'm just talking about 3-month blocks. What I want you to do is just get a new perspective on the goals. You may need to narrow the goals a little bit, switch directions with them. I just want them to be a little bit more achievable this time. So take time to sit. I am talking about 1 to 3 hours. Think through the numbers. Think about the fallout of what happened. How can you keep this up? How can you switch directions? How can you set a goal that will be attainable and not as much of a stretch goal? Sometimes we do need a stretch goal, but in this period, because things are so uncertain and a lot of it is out of our control, let's set a consistent goal and an achievable goal for little wins that will be big wins in our self-esteem and in our business. Ask yourself, is this business model working? Or if you don't own your own business, is your job working? Do you need to switch positions? Do you need to mention that you have some talents that nobody has discovered yet? And if you own your own business, maybe the business model of traveling all the time is no longer working. Maybe you do need a website. Maybe you need to do more Facebook Lives. Push the play button, go live, be authentic. Let people see what you make. Let them see what you do. Let them see why you love it. Is your business model working, or should you try to change it up? Can you sell on different platforms? Do you need more help, less help? Think about your business model and ask yourself, is it working? Get to making or sourcing, meaning design something new or offer a new service that you've always been meaning to do but didn't have the resources or the time to research it. You can always do something at 1%. So even if you make a new design and you say, I don't have enough supplies to buy it, try it at just 1%. Make a sample version of it. And then dream about what the things are that you need to buy to make the rest of whatever it is. Same with trying a new project or a new service. How could you do it at 1% just to afford it right now? Or goal plan on how you can introduce it in 6 months' time. I know that I personally am looking really hard at these questions. There's never been a better time to do the CEO work. And if you do not have a growing business, but you're managing your family, take a look. Are you doing a good job? Are you being the best CEO you can possibly be for your business or for your home? How can you be better and get out of this low and get out of this uncertainty? How can you be the best version of this? How can you plan for a time like this? Do you need to save a little bit extra? Yeah. Do you need to plan a little bit better? Do you need to really hone in on efficiencies of your business or of your home? How can you do things better? This is no better time for us to really look strongly. Are we being the best CEOs for our companies that we can possibly be? Blocking. Especially with small children at home, you must block your time out. Now, I have multiple podcasts recording on this, and if you take my course, I teach this exclusively to each individual member, and we work out for them personally what it means, because it is different for everybody, but it's like gold to anybody working from home. Start with timing yourself with your tasks that you're doing through the day, even with the homework involved, even with the homeschooling. Time how long it takes you to do things. How long does it take you to do the laundry? How long does it take you to do the homework? How long does it take you to clean the house up after the day? How long does it take you to make that thing, to do that service? How long does it take you to prep the meals? I want you to time everything. Write it down in a notebook. This is so that you have a reference point of how long things are, and then you can block them in. I know, seems tedious, but it will change your life. I love when we go through this in our master course, how many of them are like, what a simple step, tedious step, but how much it has drastically changed how much I can get done. Because the truth is we're overwhelmed when we have to unload the dishwasher, do the dishes, and make supper. And we're like, how am I ever going to get it done? Well, you've never timed how long it actually takes. So your brain is so uncertain and full of fear. But when it knows it's 4 minutes to do the dishwasher, 30 minutes for supper, and about 12 minutes for the dishes, boom, you just have a block. That's how long it took you. And you don't have to worry about it. So I highly recommend blocking during this time. Also, go back to the frog theory. Do you remember this? Meaning 3 to 4 big things for the day or for the week, depending on how you're doing this. The rest are gravy, meaning do those 3 to 4 things no matter what. That's what you're going to get done that week, no matter what, or that day. And the rest is just gravy if you get to do them. If you set those things first and get those done, you'll have momentum for the other things. But we tend to just do the little things because we feel like we're getting more momentum, and that's not the truth. And we know it because the days that we prioritize, we only had a day left until it was due. We got it done, didn't we? So prioritize 3 to 4 things. We call them the frogs. Eat the frog first. Then the other little things are like gravy. Consume some books or some courses, free ones or even the paid ones. Now is the time to consume some work that will make you a better business owner, a better mom, a better wife, a better servant of God. Whatever it might be, now is the time to consume some books. And I promise it will pay off. Plus, there is a load of free resources right now as people are trying to reach their audiences and offer mercy and grace to us during this time. So be sure to check out all the free different resources that you can get right now for books or courses. Set a goal with the book that you are reading. So read it, then apply it, meaning print the worksheets or take the course or whatever it offers afterwards, and then share it with others. It's really important that whatever book you are reading, that you implement it. Don't just read it. Implement it. If you're going to spend the time doing it, now is the time to also implement it. For me personally, I always listen to the audio version because I can listen to it while I work, meaning the sewing. Then I buy the paper form of it, the paperback, hardback, whatever it is. And then I do print off the worksheets and start applying it. I share what I know with my executive assistant. I share what I know with my family or my advisors in my life. And then I start applying it. That's just my principle with books. I also allow myself to abandon ship if the book is just not working. Like if you get 3 chapters in, you're like, I just do not relate with this and it's rubbing you wrong, bail. I give you permission. You do not have to finish the book. But if you are jiving with it, and sometimes when it makes you feel uncomfortable, it's actually because it's calling you out on something you need to improve. So, pray about that and find out what's going on. Is this because it's stirring in you what needs to happen? Or is this just totally unrelatable and you need to bail? Think about that. Ask people in your life. If they hesitate, it's probably because you actually do need to read it and hear it, and they didn't know how to tell you. That might be a good indicator as well. So what am I doing professionally? Well, I did have to cut back on employees. I didn't have to lay anybody off because my business model is contractors. The seamstresses work per piece. But I did have to tell them in a long, awesome email that the loads would be really light here until sales pick up and I need to sell what's on my shelf. I actually had to make some phone calls to my salaried people and cut them back a little bit until sales are more predictable. I am a sales-based business. And it was very difficult and humbling. And I learned a lot about who's got my back. And that's a really important thing to have as well. Also professionally, I did reset my goals. So I'm re-looking at the second quarter goals and the third quarter goals. I have my marketing planned out, but there are a couple things that I'm going to delay until people feel more confident with their purchases. So I needed to relook at those goals and look what is possible. I was going to buy a van or a tack house, whichever one needed more. The tack house is where I store all the extra inventory. The cargo van, Jerry, I love him dearly, needs to be replaced. And so I had saved up enough, but I probably will be using that for payroll. And so just, redoing my goals a little bit, thinking about, okay, I could make the van last until the end of the summer. Then I could save up enough, rethinking through my goals. I did decide that I would keep my website goals there. Because remember when I asked the question, is your business model working? What I would change about mine is a little less travel as the kids get older and these times are unpredictable right now. And I am at home. The main avenue for people to buy from me is my awesome website. It is shoprsd.com, you guys, for my purses and accessories. And it is amazing. And I decided that I would still put money into the programming to change things and make the website the best it can be because it is my awesome vehicle to sales. So I still need to amp up my website and make it the best it can possibly be. I am consuming more books and more courses as I try to be the best CEO I can. As long as I am not making as much, that doesn't mean I'm not designing as much. I'm actually designing a little bit more because I have more time and I am really taking a look at my CEO work. How can I be better and prevent times like this? How can I have more in savings? How can I have more efficiencies? Who on my team am I not utilizing all of their strengths? I'm really spending time thinking about things as a CEO. I had to tell you some of my favorite books to read during this time, for managing time, for managing your money, for just being the best CEO. First of all, I recommend my own book. My book is called Equipped to Execute, Guiding Moms to Joyfully Impact Family and Business. It is available on my website, theencouragerpodcast.com. And you guys, it's great about blocking and managing your home life. It's a quick read that really is a workbook book where you can fill out right inside the book. It's $20. It's a great gift for someone who's going through trying to figure out how to work from home. And it's a great thing for you yourself to fill out and get on the same page with your family. The book Clockwork, I'm just going through currently. I really like it for CEO work. Anything by Dave Ramsey right now is excellent. How to get out of debt, how to prevent things like this, how to have an emergency fund. Anything by him would be a great read right now. The Miracle Equation is a fantastic book as well. Don't worry, we will put these in our show notes so that you've got links if you want to buy these books. Never Lose a Customer Again is an excellent book for right now and how to create lifelong customers. I have done the course and everything. It's fantastic. Another great book that you and your husband should both listen to, or you and your spouse should listen to, is The 3 Big Questions for a Frantic Family. I loved this one. It is so good for family life and also work life. That is by Pat Lencioni, The 3 Big Questions for a Frantic Family. The other great book that I read that was really good for combining goals is The 12-Week Year instead of yearly goals, quarterly goals. This has drastically changed how my team and I operate, and I highly recommend it. So The 12-Week Year. And the final book I recommend is The Big Leap. And this is just really trying to get you in your zone of genius and reminding yourself where you're really, really, really talented in and how to make the most money and to be the most productive with that role and hiring the rest of the roles or knowing where your lane is. So The Big Leap is a great book as well. Okay, family-wise, here's what I would tell you to encourage you. Set up a schedule. The kids need it for their fear and all the uncertainty. They need it to know what's going to happen next, and you need it for your sanity. Now, it doesn't have to be every 30 minutes we do this or this, but put some markers down on what you will accomplish that day. At between 8 and 9, we have breakfast. Between 12 and 1, we have lunch. Between 1 and 3, it's homework. And chores are around 5. Like, it doesn't have to be every 30 minutes, but have some markers that your kids can depend on when they're starting to feel uncertain, and it will help with your sanity drastically. Involve the kids in chores and food and work if possible. Like, my kids love to do the inventory type stuff, so they will count the zippers for me or the hardware for me. They help sweep the studio. Even though it was my work, they can contribute because I'm contributing to them by buying food. So that's how I explain it to them. They can definitely help with chores. Amp up your chores a little bit. Teach your 5-year-old how to sweep. It can be done. Vixen loves it. And then also help get them involved with food. Help pick a child for a day and they will prep their food. I'll talk a little bit about how I do that later here. Allow for free time and me time for yourself. Sometimes we can overbook ourselves with the homeschooling and the work and our hubby and trying to figure out all these things. You really do need to allow for some free time for yourself. So whether that's Saturday afternoon or all day Sunday or half hour in the evening where you shut your door and you're just by yourself, give yourself some me time to kind of decompress and soak in all that is out of control and in control. So you need a little bit of me time blocked in. Read your devotionals with them. Memorize scripture. There's some really cool things you can be doing family-wise during this time. They've got some really fun family challenges on Instagram. I know about memorizing scripture and things that can be really fun to do with your children. Go for walks or rides or runs. I always say a gravel road will pull emotion out of a kid like nothing else. Hopefully you are near one. If you're in the Midwest, there's always a gravel road nearby. But get out on a gravel road, your child will open up. Or go for a run with them. Go for a walk. Go for a ride on a horse or four-wheeler or whatever that is for you. The gravel road is like magic therapy. I would limit the screen time to 30 minutes at a time. Now, before you scream at me, I don't mean 30 minutes for the whole day. Ours are allowed 4 30-minute blocks. So that is 2 hours of screen time. The girls never get close to the 2 hours. They just don't. They probably do about 2 of the 30 minutes. My son, I do have to limit more. He's a 13-year-old. But the 30 minute is about the cap where I'm about ready to go bonkers because I can hear it in the background and stuff. And it works for our family. We don't let them watch movies all in one group unless it is as a family. That's just a personal rule for us and it works so that we all sit down and we watch the movie together and that I feel less guilty about them watching movies all day long. So we just do it in 30-minute spurts. Reward good behavior when you see it. We're on top of each other, right? We're all in our homes. It's easy for us to get irritated, all of the things. So when you see the good behavior, you need to reward it. We do a special plate. It's just a plate that says celebrate on the outside edge. And if I see an act of kindness or something out of the ordinary, they pick up trash when it wasn't even theirs, I say, hey, get down on my knees, look them in the eyes and say, you are in the special plate. And they're like, what? Why? And you tell them how special they are and why it matters. It's a great way to reward good behavior. Don't discipline the behavior. Look at the heart issue. Meaning, if Razzie is hitting her sister for petting her horse, she's really dealing with jealousy and self-control. So I make her sit out and think on it, and she will apologize for it. But then I also talk to her about jealousy and how it happens and occurs in me, and also about self-control. So get to the heart issue, not the behavior issue. Another thing, you guys, buy art supplies. Listen, I have a really cool studio and the girls love it, but I still bought sketchbooks. There's even this YouTuber that they watch where they do it in 15-minute spurts, but they watch him draw things and they love this little sketchbook. Have every Sharpie available you can imagine, marker available, scissors and glue and a sketchbook, and you're good to go, mama. Like, buy art supplies. Also, during this time, get to know your child. The best time to parent and to know their hearts are when all the activities are away. I am loving getting to know my children on a heart level even more, because I feel like I've gotten to do that because I do work from home and have more flexibility. But knowing who they are outside of activities, especially my 13-year-old Gus in sports, been athletic since he was 18 months old. And I know who he is in sports. And I know his character in sports and when he overreacts and actually when he's really awesome at it. I know all of those things about the sporting, but to know his heart outside of sports has been amazing. He has an incredible way of building things. He's got a really soft heart. He gets embarrassed easily. So like learning these things about him has just been precious. So try to get to know your children's hearts outside of their activities, outside of them performing. Plan a date night with your hubby. Now, listen, date night's going to be interesting right now because we can't go anywhere, but you can still go for a walk together. You can still sit on a gravel road, listen to country music and drink whatever you want. Like, we have been known to do that. Whatever it means for you two to connect and step away outside of the house, walk on the gravel road. Gravel roads around here, like I said already, real good therapy. But whatever that is for you, maybe it's just walking around your neighborhood to get the fresh air in, walking the dog, all the things that you can do to connect with, play a board game together, whatever it is that you could do for a date night for you and hubby is still important to prioritize. Play board games. Before you grab the remote, play a board game. There's so many different ones and so much fun to get to connect that you can really do a family board game, even down to the 5-year-old. She's always paired up with somebody, but they love that. And those are things that they'll remember probably more than a movie night. One of my favorite things to do is make a list of the house cleanup things that you need to do. Like, go to every single room and write down what drawers you could clean out or how could you simplify the room. Oh, and I have a lot of podcasts with Joshua Becker about simplifying your home. It's so good, you guys. And then think about what could be the daily chores. Make that list out so the kids can also incorporate daily chores with their homework. Think about the big projects that you've wanted to do in your house and prioritize them. Like we want to build a deck and we want to change all the carpet downstairs and we want to buy a new bed set, or all these big projects. Could you prioritize them? Can you number them this time? Wouldn't that be great to be like, nope, we can't do that because that's number 3, and get on the same page there. Also, I already said it, but make sure you're doing the spousal business meeting. It will help you drastically during this time. And budget. Yeah, nobody wanted to hear that word, but you guys, budgeting during this time is so important. Remember what Dave Ramsey says, that a budget will actually give you freedom. It doesn't box you in. It gives you freedom to choose where you're going to put your money. But when you don't know, the money's going everywhere but where it should. So make sure that you're budgeting during this time as well. So what am I doing family-wise? Well, I'm treating it kind of like the summer schedule. That is a podcast I have as well. I believe it's titled Summer Schedule, but that's a great one to listen to. But I'm treating it like it's summer, but we do have homework time. So we start homework at 3 in the afternoon. I'm going to give you permission. You do not need to do homework the moment you wake up. It did not work for me. I tried it. And I was so irritable with them because I needed to get into the studio to talk to all of my staff to figure out that I could not do the homework at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. I need to do the homework at 3 p.m. And then it all started lining up better. The kids are cooking alongside me. I used to plan out all of my meals by 7:30 a.m. That is backed up a little bit. It's about 8:30 a.m. now. And I pick a child for each day. So Gus is Monday, Iverson is Tuesday, and she helps me. We have pretty much already made breakfast, but she helps me decide. Sometimes, actually, they really aren't involved in the decision process. They're just involved in helping me make it. So she will help me prep the lunch food and make the supper food. So that's all ready to go at 6 p.m. I also am getting to know my children's hearts. That's really important to me during this time outside of activities, is how can I know them better? We are doing date night. Ours just involves a gravel road or a walk or really like to play sports together. We're both competitive. Working out together is a great date night as well. We are cleaning house, baby. I mean, like, as soon as this blows over, you guys, I'm not going to clean the house for 6 months. Like, I have scrubbed and cleaned every single corner and organized everything you can possibly think of. So I'm going to take a 6-month break after this. We're also doing our spousal business meeting and prioritizing big projects, especially with cash flow different now. It's like, ooh, okay, maybe we should change up how we prioritized it before. We're taking a look at our big things like, do we like our insurance? Do we like our auto insurance? Do we like our home insurance? Do we like our doctors? Should we be switching some of those things? So we're also having larger conversations because we have more time to think about them and less time to just kind of put them off. And of course, I still make a Saturday list because I still work during the week, not as much. But I still make a list for Saturday so that I can feel sane. Like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I involve the family as much as possible because they get to cross it off. They get to feel powerful. They get to see that it will end. I'm really big about when the kids can visually see, like when the pile goes down, mommy said she'd take a break. She would come outside. She would jump on the trampoline, play ball with us, whatever it is. Make a list so that they can see there's an end in sight. Okay, everybody, that's how I can encourage you. That's how I encourage you personally, professionally, and family-wise. What I want you to remember above all else is to breathe in forgiveness and grace all within the same breath. We're all going to hear or read or say things that are stupid or negative or positive or whatever it is. So whenever someone speaks or you yourself speak, remember to breathe in forgiveness and grace all within the same breath. Your only job is to worship God. That's it. That's it. Everything else doesn't matter until you do that one thing with everything you do. You just need to worship God. We will get through this one step at a time. I am here. Reach out to me on Facebook or email or the website. I'd love to hear from you, especially individually. It's so fun to find out what this means for the different positions and how I can encourage you. This journey was always guaranteed that it would have ups and downs. And right now we're just in the down part, but we can get through this together. I want to share with you what I sent to my RSD team, my staff last week. Sunny days are ahead. Thank you again for being so understanding and holding my hand through this. Remember how I frequently talk about our business being a roller coaster, full of fun, twists, and turns? And I say, here we go. When I say here we go, it's like we're accelerating up the roller coaster. Here we go. Or we're accelerating down and we got our hands in the air. So I say that frequently. Well, for now, I think we are just pulling into the harbor to readjust, tighten the nuts and bolts, secure our seatbelts, and change up seating arrangements. The cars will leave again at breakneck speeds, and we will be sitting next to each other in no time, hands in the air, excelling into blue sky, and praising God for the fresh air and new perspective. Who's ready to ride? I love you all so much. Please take care of yourself and your sweet families. Until next time, we got this. I know how you can start executing on all the things that God has equipped you to do. You can pick up my book at theencouragerpodcast.com and check out the store complete with book, journal, and the master course. Also, make sure to check out the resources tab where you'll get a hold of all the PDFs from the podcast. Thank you for tuning in, Encouragers. Remember to subscribe so it's automatically on your phone. And please rate and review me. We got this, Encouragers.